Hello, everyone! 10 hidden female weaknesses every man needs to know now. Female psychology facts. She doesn't crave your flowers or grand gestures. What she truly responds to is your presence, your inner stability, not just your physical strength. It's that invisible line you hold, the quiet confidence that says, I won't chase, no matter how attractive you are. Most men believe they can win a woman over by giving more attention, more effort, more validation. But attraction doesn't grow from effort alone. It grows from something deeper: psychological gravity. A pull that isn't forced, but felt. And here's a truth rarely spoken out loud. Many women are drawn to the man they can't easily influence or control. The one who doesn't feel the need to argue, justify himself, or seek her approval just to stand firm in who he is. Understanding this changes everything. It shifts you from reacting to leading, from guessing to knowing. You stop overextending yourself and start moving with clarity and control. At the core of this dynamic is something subtle but powerful: emotional certainty. Deep down, a woman longs for the feeling that the man she's with is steady and grounded, someone who won't be shaken by emotional highs or lows. Not someone overly agreeable, but someone internally anchored. When emotions rise when she pulls away, becomes distant, or unpredictable, it's not always a request for reassurance. Sometimes it's a test of your stability. Many men fail here. They react impulsively, become defensive, or try to fix everything. But in doing so, they unintentionally signal instability. True strength shows in composure. When you remain calm, centered, and unshaken even when emotions intensify, you create a sense of safety that words alone can't provide. She doesn't need constant reassurance. She needs to feel that you're grounded. Another dynamic at play is the human tendency to value what feels slightly out of reach. When everything is given too easily, curiosity fades. But when there's a sense of space, when your life doesn't revolve entirely around her, interest grows naturally. Not because you're playing games, but because you have your own direction. Mystery, in this sense, isn't about being distant or cold. It's about revealing yourself gradually, letting someone discover you layer by layer. When everything is instantly available, there's nothing left to explore. Presence also plays a huge role. The way you speak, move, and carry yourself communicates far more than words. A calm tone, steady eye contact, and controlled energy create a sense of quiet authority. It's not about dominating, it's about being composed and self-assured. Equally important is self-respect. A man who can walk away not out of anger, but principle, commands a different kind of respect. It shows that his standards matter, that he values himself enough not to tolerate disrespect or confusion. Purpose is another key factor. When you're focused on building something, your goals, your path, your growth, you naturally become more grounded. Your life has direction, and that direction becomes attractive. Not because it impresses, but because it shows you don't depend on anyone else to feel complete. At the same time, connection still matters, but it must be balanced. Vulnerability is powerful when it's controlled and intentional. Sharing your experiences from a place of strength, not emotional dependence, creates depth without overwhelming the other person. There's also an unspoken dynamic of testing, not in a manipulative sense, but as a way of understanding who you really are. How you respond under pressure reveals more than anything you say. When you remain steady instead of reactive, trust begins to build. Confidence plays its role too, especially the kind that isn't shaken by rejection. When you can accept a no without losing your composure, you show that your self-worth isn't tied to someone else's validation. That kind of confidence is rare and noticeable. And finally, there's self-control. The ability to manage your desires instead of being driven by them. When you're not chasing attention or validation. When your actions come from choice rather than need, you project independence and strength. In the end, this isn't about controlling anyone else. It's about mastering yourself. When you stop chasing, stop overreacting, and stop bending to every emotional shift, you naturally become more grounded and more attractive. Because attraction isn't built by what you give, it's built by who you are when you don't need anything in return.